All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Olu Eniola, and I'm here with Victoria Eniola. And I am an RHCE, a Red Hat certified engineer, and Victoria is working on an RHCSA. She wants to become a Red Hat certified system administration. Today, we're going to be talking about NFS, which stands for Network File System, which is just a protocol that allows people or members of a network on a Linux-based system which allows them to share a certain file location without that file system or file location being directly on their machine. So network file system is a protocol that we're going to talk about today. So without further ado, what I'm going to do, hello, Victoria, say something.
Hello.
So I am going to be using AWS to test your skills today. Can you tell us a little bit about what your task was, what you did, and how you were able to attain it or achieve it? And then we'll
Yeah, so my task was to basically create an NFS server
okay,
and an NFS client
okay,
and basically configure the server so that the client has access to a shared directory.
okay, shared directory. Okay, I like that. So so go ahead and tell us what the shared directory path is, the absolute path to that shared directory.
Yes. So the absolute path for the shared directory, I believe that I created was called / SRV
Okay,
/ NFS.
okay, all right. For some reason, I'm having trouble logging into AWS. Um, all right, let me try this. My Mac isn't allowing me to see the security check keys that's being sent. So I'll use my Linux server to log in and configure and provision a node that you will work on. I will have to share the IP address with you so that you can secure shell into it. And you already have a secure shell key, right?
I believe so, yes.
On your laptop. Okay. So I'm not sure why that's behaving the way it is. Let's see what this guy here does. Same thing. It looks like it's an AWS issue.
Uh-oh.
Hmm, that's sad. Huh. Hmm. I hate to use Linode. You may have to move to Linode.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Uh-oh.
let me just do that. AWS seems to not be working right now, and I doubt that I have a, a nodes configured right now. Let's try this. Try different one. Okay, so Linode is being cooperative. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new Linode. So I'm going to set it up for region Miami, Florida. We're going to use, I don't think these guys have RHEL, so maybe CentOS, which is upstream of RHEL. So CentOS Stream 9, so it's still the same kind of environment as you're used to. I will select shared CPU, which is $5 a month. CentOS US Miami security. Root password is, although you will not be logging in with that. Let me create another secret shell key. I'll call it the NFS key, add key. Linode. Oh, I don't think I added a public IP address to that. Okay, I did. So I need to, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to log into it and create an account for you. You will have to give me some pieces of information.
Okay.
Okay, so let me, so I'm going to log into it from terminal. And how do I get to terminal? I'm going to have to minimize this. It's called terminal in Mac too, right?
Yeah, it's called terminal.
Under applications.
Launchpad. You can go to Launchpad. It's like a colorful.
Yeah, I'm in Launchpad. I wonder, and I'm searching for terminal.
It should be a default app.
Yeah, nothing is working today. What's good? What's going on?
That's weird.
I've used terminal here on this Mac before.
Go to the top or go to your home screen on your Mac up by the where there's
I
the
went
date.
to utilities.
Okay.
So paste it. Okay, looks like I'm in. Okay, so I'm going to, hold on. So let me see what users I have here. Going to, well, I guess I should share my screen. So after this lab's done, I'm going to delete this node because the public IP address is shown. I'm mainly concerned working on NFS right now, so I'm not going to secure it too much. So share my screen. Yes. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay, so I'm going to go to
Let's see.
Etsy password to see who the users are. So there are no users. So I'm going to create a couple of users. So I'm going to create, what's the command to add users?
User ad.
Okay. So,
And your root already. Yeah, so
yeah,
yep,
so
just
user
user.
add, then, so to add you to a group, what do I do?
Depends which group are you trying to add me to?
Okay, so let me just create you first. So let's just a user add Beniola, and I'm going to say set your password to what we've been using.
Okay.
Password Beniola. Okay. So group add. What's the name of the group that we did? That you,
Um, I created a group called NFS Share.
okay, so we'll just call it NFS share. Okay. And then I could say user mod
Vianiola, or
AG
yeah, minus AG in the group.
NFS. It should have picked that up by itself. Yeah, so I did it backwards.
Mm-hmm.
NFS, Vinola. There we go. So that display Etsy group, you should show up under, oh, okay, say ID Veniola.
Vianiola, yep.
So it shows that you're part of the NFS share group and the Veniola group. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. So well this isn't very secure. So I am going to so why don't you can you see this IP address?
Let me just type it. 172. Here, let me zoom in. It's very tiny.
Okay, here. So it's okay. So do SSH Veniola, and we're going to do a password login. We're not going to use keys right now because mainly we just want to show how to create an NFS server, and I'm going to try to log into the shared directory, and then we're going to delete the node. So it's going to be secure shell Veniola at 172.233.188.183.
Okay. All right, I am in.
Okay. All right, so let me see. You are all right. We'll talk about that later. Okay, so why don't you go ahead? Okay, so I'm going to add you to the sudo file so you can run sudo commands. Okay, so
Okay.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to say vim touch etsy sudoers dot d Beniola. Okay, so do you recall what I should type in here?
Yeah, so you said, am I
You're
uh
Beniola,
root? You're giving me root superpowers.
right?
Do you want me to log in or to have to log
What should
in?
I put? What do you know what I should put in the sudo file for
Yeah,
Beniola?
so you'll put my username
Okay.
and then you can put all in all caps equals and
Uh-huh.
then parentheses all.
Uh-huh.
Do you want me to have to use a password or no?
No password.
Okay, so we can do no pass WD
Uh-huh.
and then yep, all.
Okay, good, good, very good.
We can save that.
There. Okay, so why don't you share your screen with us then? But first,
Okay.
I have to give you access to that. I don't see the Zoom anymore. Uh, okay, so you go ahead and share your screen with us.
Okay. Let me shrink this down.
Can you position your screen, your camera so that light in your back isn't reflecting as much? Yeah, that's a lot better. Yeah,
How's that?
yeah, that's
That-
better.
Okay.
Right. Oh, I have to give you access to share. How do I do that? I go to users, participants. Allow, yes. Okay. Is it letting you share yet?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and share.
All right.
Oh, okay. I think I see your screen.
Okay, can you see my terminal screen?
I'm trying to yeah. Can you make that wider so we can see
Yeah.
a little more? Okay, that's better.
Is this good?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead and clear. There you go. All right. So what are you doing and how do we get it done?
Um, yeah, so I'm in as Vignola.
Hmm.
Um, this is our NFS server, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
So why
So
don't you tell what's the host name of this system that we're on?
yeah, let's find out. So let's use the hostname command.
Huh? Okay, so why not go ahead and change that to NFS serve?
Okay, so we'll use hostname,
Uh-huh.
CTL,
Uh-huh.
hostname, and
Uh-huh.
then the name that we would like. So we want to use you said NFS server?
Mhm. NFS oh, you know, small letters is fine. Don't use big. So just NFS RV and then RV. There we go.
Okay. So hostname CTL, host actually I
That's
might have
fine.
to
It's
use
fine the way
sudo
it is.
for this, but yeah.
Okay, I think you should be fine. No, it didn't let you. Okay, so put sudo in front of it. Okay. Huh. You're
Hmm.
not a sudo. I think, okay, so sudoers.d. Okay. Was I supposed to run some kind of a refresh command?
I don't remember ever doing that, ever having to reload or
Oh,
mm.
I see the problem. I spelled sudoers wrong.
Uh
Yeah. PWD. Okay, so VIM, Beniola. That's probably why the first command didn't work. All equals all, no password. All. Okay, try it again. Try that command again.
okay. Let's see. We said hostname CTL, hostname NFS SRV.
Yeah, you already did that. So let's try to run the uh,
Okay,
command you try to run. What was that again?
that worked. Sudo hostname CTL
Okay,
hostname.
good.
Yep.
Okay, all right, keep going.
Okay, so now we're gonna just check and
Mm-hmm.
make sure that that
Very good,
change is in
very good.
effect,
Excellent,
and it
excellent.
worked.
Do you know why your name on the prompt is still showing the IP address?
Because it needs to be reloaded.
Okay, so go ahead and log out and come back in and let's see that. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. There you
Well,
go. Okay,
here
go
we
ahead and
are.
clear your screen.
Nice.
Okay, what are we doing next?
Okay, so we created a group.
Hmm.
We added, let's just double check that that group was added, or that, yeah, that group was added to.
Hmm.
Okay, yep. So we have an NFS share group.
Hmm.
Before we get into creating an NFS directory, I want to download all the necessary tools in order to be able to do that.
Okay.
Um, so I'm going to start with the NFS utils package.
Okay.
So let's download that. We'll use sudo DNF
Okay.
install NFS utils.
Hmm.
We'll wait for that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Is there something you could have added to the command to make it automatically download instead of asking you whether you want to download it or not?
Um,
So what you do next time is when you say sudo DNF install, you then put the -y. That tells it,
mm,
okay, yes. You're saying yes in advance when you do that.
okay. Does it matter where the -y goes in that?
I would just put it after the tool that I'm downloading.
Okay. Okay. That's good to know. Yeah, I have not seen that.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like it completed. It's
Uh,
installed.
uh-huh.
So we're just gonna go ahead and start the service.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
So hold
use
on. So hold on. So on my end here, I'm going to type a command into my command prompt, and the command is tail -f var log messages. Do you know what that does?
so it'll show you in real time what's happening on the server.
Oh, on the machine. Okay. All right.
Yeah, on the machine.
All right. So I'm watching over here to see what's going on.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and um I'm gonna go ahead and enable the service. So I'm gonna use the sudo DNF enable DNF for uh wow, my mind is blanking.
Yeah, that's fine. So go back.
NFS.
So let me help you out a little bit. So go ahead, go all the way back,
Okay.
clear your screen, clear the screen, clear,
Oh,
clear. All right. So now type
oh right.
systemctl status.
That's
Okay. We want to check the status of the NFS server. So complete that. The server, NFS server. I think it's NFS dash
yeah,
server.
you're right. Yep, you're right.
Okay.
NFS server, not utils.
Okay. So right now, what is this telling you?
It's not active. It's inactive right now,
Okay.
disabled.
Okay.
So
So
we
how
need to
do
go
you,
ahead and
so you need
enable.
to make it active and you need to enable it. So how do you
Correct.
do that?
Yep, so I can use the systemctl
Hmm?
enable
Mhm.
NFS server command.
I think that enable is missing something. Dash dash something.
No, I never, I just do enable.
Okay, let's try that. Let's see. Hmm.
Okay. Do
Okay,
you
so
usually add?
let me see what it's doing here. It's saying reloading what? The way I do it is so yeah, check status. Go ahead. Hmm.
Now it's enabled.
Okay, so I think so. The way I do it is I type systemctl enable dash dash now
Hmm,
NFS dash server, and I think if you don't use the dash dash now when you reboot. It doesn't, this change does not persist. So, but
I see.
maybe the dash dash now is inherent. Maybe I learned something new today, but we'll see.
Okay.
All right, keep going.
Okay,
We
so I
have
just
the
enabled
NFS
it
server running, so okay.
and now I need to start it because it's still
And
inactive.
oh,
So
wow.
I'm gonna start the NFS server.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So here I'm what it's saying here. Okay. RPC Mount D starting NFS server and services. Okay. All right, good. All right.
Okay. Nice. And now I'm gonna just double check and make sure everything is running with
Mm-hmm.
the status system CTL status
Mm-hmm.
NFS-server command.
Mm-hmm.
And as we can see, it's now active
Mm-hmm.
and enabled. So
Okay,
we are
good, good.
uh,
Oh, you know what, Vicky? If you
mhm.
had put the dash dash now, it would have enabled it and started it.
Okay, so then I wouldn't have had
Now,
to use the start command. Okay,
so that reduces the two steps to one step. Okay, good. Good to know.
right.
I learned something today. All right, keep going.
Okay, nice. Okay, so we just enabled the NFS server.
Hmm.
Um I want to install the firewall D
Okay.
package right now as well.
Okay. Why do you want to do that?
Because I'm going to need the uh firewall D service, like a few services on the firewall D package to enable the NFS server and the client to be able to.
Okay, so I think what you're trying to say is that you need to punch a hole through the firewall so that it allows the services that you put in the firewall through to be able to
Correct.
go in and
Yes.
out. Right. Okay.
Yes, that's a much better way
That's
of
that's fine. That's why we're here. All right.
Okay, so we just installed the NFS utils. So now I'm gonna install the firewall D
Mhm. But
util.
do you, but do you know that firewall D is not on this server right now? Do we know?
So we can check before
Okay, go
we.
ahead. Let's see. Check it.
Okay, so we'll do systemctl status
Mhm.
um firewall D.
Okay.
Oh, looks like it's already enabled, active and running.
Yeah, when I was provisioning the node,
Hmm.
I said use such and such firewall. So
Okay.
yeah, so it's already installed. So
Okay,
usually
nice.
you just don't go in and install services. You want to check first. There has to be a need for the service, one, and then two, the service has to be missing before you just go install. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Well,
All right, so we have everything installed that we need installed.
mhm,
Um, Now I'm going to create a directory
mhm,
um, specifically for the NFS sharing.
mhm,
And I'm going to, well, first of all, I'm just going to look at all the directories under my home directory
mhm.
or under my root directory.
No, your home directory is fine.
Well, I don't think it's under my home directory. Yeah, I want to see the directories under my,
Okay, that's fine.
okay, yes, because I want to use this SRV directory.
When did you create that?
It's default. It's a default directory.
Okay, so you don't want to use a default directory.
Right, but that's what they've been. So we'll use the default, but then we'll create our own / like NFS directory under the default directory.
Let's do this. You see that directory called MNT?
Hmm.
So create your own directory under the MNT directory
Okay, why that one?
because that's what it's for, mountain and stuff. Mountain
Okay.
directory stuff. Yeah, okay.
Okay. So we're gonna make a directory under the MNT directory, and we're just gonna call this NFS.
And that's fine.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Oh, yep. Sudo.
Okay.
All right. And then, so we need to make sure we have all the correct permissions
Hmm.
for this directory.
Hmm.
So let's see, what do I want to do first?
So how do we know if we have how can we tell or how do we find out what the current permissions are for Mount NFS?
Yeah, so we can use the ls minus
Hmm.
ld
Hmm.
command,
Hmm.
and then the path name,
Hmm.
/mount /NFS,
Hmm.
and it'll tell us, okay, yep, so it tells us. the permissions here and who owns the user that owns the directory and the group that owns the directory as well.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like right now root
Mm-hmm.
is the owning user and the root group owns the directory as well.
Mm-hmm.
So this is good because we actually want to change the owning user and the owning group.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to change the owning user to myself, the
Okay.
VNEO user, and I want to change the group
Mm-hmm.
ownership to the group that we created. I don't remember what it was called.
Let's just call it today. Oh, yeah, we did create a group.
You already created it.
So how can you tell?
I mean, we can check
Mm-hmm.
we can check the cat Etsy groups
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah,
file to see,
and it's gonna error out because there's no such.
no, cat Etsy group.
There you go.
Okay. I can't see down there because Zoom has an
Okay,
annotate
so
button.
it's
I don't,
NFS. You could why don't you do you know how to use the grep tool?
yes.
Okay, so grep your username and that should show it. So
Okay.
arrow up. Yeah, there you go. You can do that. So okay, just arrow up. Okay, now pipe it into a grep Veniola. Yep, good.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so the group we created was called NFS share.
Okay, there you go.
Um, okay. So I'm gonna go back and look at the directory
Mm-hmm.
details for the /mount/NFS
Mm-hmm.
directory. And we want to change the owning user and the owning group.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use the chown command. I have to use sudo chown.
Mm-hmm.
We want to change this recursively
Mm-hmm.
for the directory. We want the owning user to be Vignola
Mm-hmm.
and the owning group to be NFS share. And this will be for the /MNT/NFS
Good.
directory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we can double check and make sure that these changes have
Taken.
yeah, taken.
Mm-hmm.
So we use the same ls-ld command with the
Mm-hmm.
directory.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it looks like that worked. The
Okay.
new owning user is Vianiola, new owning group of that directory is NFS share.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So now we want to modify permissions
Mm-hmm.
for the directory.
Mm-hmm.
So let me sudo again. I want to set a uh group
Oh,
permissions
okay.
on this directory so that um the group NFS share group can traverse this MNT NFS
Very good.
directory
Very good. Very good.
and
Yes.
everything
Okay.
created under that.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna use sudo
Mm-hmm.
chmod. I can also set this recursively
Mm-hmm.
g+s to set the group permissions,
Mm-hmm.
and then the directory, which is MNT, NFS,
Mm-hmm.
and then we press enter.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's no real way to like verify unless you were to create a file under that directory.
No, there is. So let me,
There it is.
you probably just don't remember. So
Okay.
type ls minus l,
ls-l.
/mount/NFS. Okay, hit enter. Oh, no. Take out the NFS. Yeah, take out the NFS because we
Okay.
want to see the permissions for NFS. Okay, hit enter. Okay, do you see something odd? A character you've never seen before?
Yeah, I see this 4096.
No, no, the S. You see the S?
Oh, right. Yes.
So the S means the group permissions is set.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you should probably go back and review special permissions. All
Yeah.
right. Okay, so let's keep going.
Okay, so we just modified group permissions
Mhm.
on the directory, we just set group permissions. Okay, so we also want to set octal permissions for this directory.
Okay, so right now it is so for owner it's read write X and then it's read and there's no write and execute and for other and groups, right?
Right.
So okay, so you wanna give the group access to write, right?
Yes, correct.
Go
Yep.
ahead.
Oh. Okay, so we will also use the same chmod command,
Mhm.
sudo chmod. I don't know if I have to set this recursively or not, but I'd like to do it just to play it safe.
Uh, Even if you don't do it recursively, the further directories that you create, they will take on the permissions of the parent directory. So just go
Right.
ahead and set it. Yeah. So,
Okay.
and we're not going to go any deeper than / NFS anyway.
Right. Okay.
Mm.
So read, write, execute for user, read, write, execute for group, and then read and execute permissions for others.
Mhm,
And then the directory
mhm,
/mnt
mhm.
/NFS.
Okay.
Enter.
Okay. So 775 is an octal representation of binary numbers, right?
Correct.
Do you know what binary 7 is?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. All right. It's 111. So the way you think about it is read, write, X are all set to 1. So it's 111, 111, and 105, but we'll work on that later. Okay, keep
Okay.
going.
Okay. Um, oh, okay, so we can just um double check that we set these octal permissions
Mhm.
using the same ls minus ld command.
Okay.
And yes, we can see that the user has read, write, execute permissions,
Mhm.
group read, write,
Mhm.
execute, and others read and execute permissions.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so what next?
Okay, so we created the directory, we set group permissions, we set octal permissions,
Mhm.
we changed ownership of the directory.
Mhm.
I think that's all the permissions for the directory.
Okay, so anyone that's a member of the group NFS share can mount that directory onto the local file system. That's
Right.
essentially what you've done. Okay,
Okay.
right?
So now we want to go ahead and add this directory to our
Mhm.
/etc/exports file.
Mhm.
So I'll go ahead and open that file
Mhm.
/etc/export.
Mhm.
Okay.
I
And
think you
then,
have the wrong, is that the right directory? So hold on, let me just do something. Let's see. I don't know the answer to that. I'm just wondering.
okay,
Yep, you got it. It's the right
it
one.
is, okay.
Yeah.
Um, so we will add to this folder, we're
Mhm.
gonna add the directory,
Mhm.
which is what what directory did we choose? I'm already forgetting.
Mount NFS.
Yes, mount. Okay, MNT
Mhm.
NFS directory.
Mhm.
And then what else do we add to this file? Um, let me think, let me think, let me think. Um,
Look it up if you
Maybe
have
we
to.
want to add, huh?
Look it up if you have to.
It's okay. I think we need to add the IP address
Okay.
of the
So
client.
so go ahead and save this file.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay, so now type W.
Okay.
So W is telling you who's logged on right now.
Hmm.
You see, it's also telling you the last command that the root, which is me, that I ran, right?
Right.
So this is one way that so you can use this command W to see who's on. W
Hmm.
is essentially who. So if you type man who, I mean man W,
Do you want me to type it?
Yeah, man. So manual pages.
Okay.
Okay, so show me who's logged in and what they're doing, okay? All right, so we need to figure out um my IP address from here because that's what you need to allow into the network.
Right.
So go ahead and so I think the flag, you see where it says so which option can you invoke? Just looking at
It looks like this hyphen I here.
okay, let's try that.
Okay.
So go ahead and kick out of this.
Okay, so we can use W minus I
Hyphen I, yes.
or hyphen I, my bad.
No, I prefer hyphen, whatever you
I always say minus, but
right.
hyphen probably sounds better.
Okay.
Um, okay.
All right. So you see my IP address? What's my IP
Yes,
address that I'm logged in from?
right here.
Okay, so copy that. So that's the IP address of my router, the Wi-Fi router that we have here.
Hmm.
The global IP that's assigned to that router is that 97 number. Within my
Okay.
network here, it's a 192 number. But what you would see is the global IP address that that
Public
router is
IP.
using.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and complete the edit of your
Exports file.
what's filing up.
Okay. So then we will add this
Uh-huh.
IP address.
Uh-huh.
Paste.
Should
Okay.
there be a colon or anything? I don't know. I'm just asking.
Um, let me think. Let me think. I think that's for the FS tab file. There would have to be a colon.
Okay. Okay. Or when you want to mount using NFS. Okay.
Right. I don't think there's one for the exports folder, but I could be wrong.
We'll find out. If it doesn't work, then we'll troubleshoot.
Yeah. Okay. But then um I need to add
No,
the
the screen.
parentheses
Okay.
uh read write
Mm-hmm.
and sync.
Okay. So what do both of those mean?
So this just means that there will be read write permissions
Mm-hmm.
and
Read
then
access.
read write access and then anything that is added or uploaded or modified will be synced before the client has access to it.
Okay. I'll buy that. Okay. Keep going.
Okay, so we're gonna save this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Remove this piano. Okay. Okay, what else? What else? What else? So we just created that exports file. We added all the information we needed to add. Let's see. I think that might be it on my end, and now I'd have to configure the client.
Uh, I think you're missing one or two steps. Don't you have to, so how does the NFS server recognize what you just did?
I'd have to reload.
You have to reload the
Right.
NFS service, yes, service.
Okay, so I'll use system ctl reload
Mhm,
NFS server,
mhm,
of course.
mhm. Okay, use sudo. You have to use sudo.
Okay, let's try this again. Sudo
Mhm,
systemctl reload NFS server.
mhm.
Okay, that worked.
It shows here that it's reloaded. So let me,
Okay.
so what configuration do you need to do for the NFS client?
So I'd have to create a mount point for the NFS client.
Okay,
And
so you are on the server side. So these are the things I have to know
correct.
the information.
Wait, but before you do that, I think I have to also add services to my firewall D.
Okay,
Um,
okay, go ahead.
but I don't know. Okay, so I'm not too sure if that's something I need to do or if it's you try accessing the server from
Oh,
client
you
and
have to
then
do
it
it.
doesn't work, then you troubleshoot and then add.
No, you have to do it.
Okay, okay. So let me do that before you do
That's fine.
things on your client side. Okay, so I'm gonna do let's see. I'm going to use sudo firewall CMD.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna list all the services available right now just to make sure before I go in and add anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, so right now we have 3 services added, none of them
Okay.
being the one that we need for this
Okay.
particular.
Yeah, and I just tried to invoke the show mount command to that IP address and it's not working. So I
Okay,
believe it's because the firewall is blocking.
right.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and update that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna use the sudo firewall CMD
Mm-hmm.
permanent
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
then we're gonna do add
Mm-hmm.
services.
Mm-hmm.
And the first service we're gonna add is NFS.
Okay.
Sudo firewall CMD. Just gonna make sure I spelled everything correctly.
Okay.
Um,
Is it add service or add services?
I think I have an S, unnecessary S in here. Let's see.
Okay.
Add service. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
don't need an S there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I'm just gonna add all the services I need and then go in and check and make sure they're added
Okay.
before, yeah. Okay, so we added NFS and then we need to also add um the RPC bind service.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's RPC hyphen bind.
Okay.
I guess we'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And then there's one more service we need to add the mount D service.
Okay. And that's Mount D is what show mount uses to show the mountable directories on the shared directory.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so let's add that. That was a success. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back and use the list all command, firewall CMD list all command,
Mhm.
to make sure all 3 of those services were added.
Okay. And they're not going to be there. Do you know why?
Oh, right. Okay, so I'm gonna reload
Okay.
firewall D and then check and make sure
Okay.
that these services have been added.
Hmm.
Um, we can do systemctl, reload, fire, fire.
No, okay, try that. Let's see. You might be right.
Now I need a sudo on that.
Okay. Okay. So
Okay.
list the firewall. And okay, and it's not going to be. Oh, really? Okay. So what I would have done was I would have done firewall dash command dash dash reload.
Oh,
Done the same
that
thing.
works too.
Yeah, so I just learned something today. Okay, good. So
Wait, you
let me.
said firewall CMD dash dash reload?
Mhm.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Okay.
Okay, I'd have to use sudo.
Uh-huh.
Oh, cool.
Excellent. Okay, so now I think what you need to do is done, right?
Correct. I
Okay,
believe so.
so now let me share my screen.
Okay, do I need to stop sharing mine?
No, let's see if we can share both and let's see.
Okay.
Do you see my screen? And what do you see?
I just see you.
Okay, I see your screen too as well. So stop sharing so
Oh,
that
wait, this is Henry O'Neill's screen. Okay, I see your screen. I had to click on your
okay, so
screen.
now stop sharing.
Okay.
That's not, yeah. Let me just stop sharing for a second. So so stop sharing.
Okay.
Good. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me know when you see my screen.
Okay, I can see your screen.
Okay, so the command I typed was after you did that, I show mount, and that's the IP address. Okay. Uh, and you see that mount /NFS is showing as being available for share.
Right.
So I am going to do you have NFS on this? So I need to, okay, let me log into, I didn't want to do this.
Yeah, I think you on the client end would have to install NFS utils as well as Fire.
Yeah, but how do you install that on a Mac? Let me,
Oh,
yeah. So I'm on a Mac. So how to install NFS skills on a Mac? And AI says install NFS dash utils. It's not doing anything. And install NFS, open Finder, go to open Finder, go to connect to server. Okay, so it says go to Finder. I would have, okay, so Finder, go to connect to server.
it looks like it says brew install NFS utils for
Okay.
terminal on Mac.
Yeah, I think all that has to have been installed.
Mm.
Okay, so this is what I'll do. I'll log back into the server. And the fact that show mount works probably means that the mount will work as well.
Hmm.
By the way, never log in as root. I'm only doing it now because of this activity. So I am going to create a user uh, named Olu. Okay, password Olu. All right, and I'm going to change to Olu. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to say, so I'm going to create a directory called I'm going to make a directory under the mount folder called Olu, RHCE, and I need superpowers, and it's probably going to deny me. Let's see, yeah, most likely will, because I don't have a sudo file.
Mm.
So let me just exit out of Olu. So I'm going to just make a directory called a directory under Olu's home directory, home, no, mount Olu. Okay, ls minus l e mount Olu belongs to root. So I'll give this to Olu. So own is a command, right?
Right.
Minus well, maybe it's probably cursive right now. I'm going to say Olu mount Olu. And then Olu has to be, what was the group NFS share?
NFS share. Yes.
Hyphen AG. And the name of the group was NFS share
Correct.
Olu. So ID Olu, and I am part of that group.
Nice.
So now because SU Olu, Claire, CD. So I'm going to say mount. What was that IP address? Yeah,
192, 188, something.
yeah. So I'm going to say mount one
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 second.
seven two dot 233 dot 188 dot 183. And then the directory was what? MNT SRV?
Correct, yes. Or no, MNTF NFS.
Okay.
Oh, right. You have to edit an FS tab file.
No, that's if you want it to automatically be loaded at boot. So let me sudo. Um, okay, here, let's do this. I don't remember the password. So I'm going to make a sudo file vim etc sudo olu olu is equal to all password. Okay. So now let me hmm, Mount NFS can't find in this. Okay, all right. Let me go ahead and why don't you go ahead and okay, here, let's do it together.
Okay.
So I'm going to say VIM, let's see FS tab. So it's going to be the what's that IP address again?
172.
I got it. But,
30. Okay.
MNT NFS, right?
Yes.
And then so it's the file system is what NFS, right? Defaults 00.
Before you add all that, you need the directory that you wanted to mount onto.
Okay, and that's why this is in red. It's saying it's not complete. Okay, so the
Right.
direction I want to mount to is
You created
mount.
Olu. Yes.
Okay, you see how the red disappeared?
Ah, yes. Okay.
Good catch.
We need to reload.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay. Access denied. So your firewall is not letting me in. So let me see what the firewall looks like. Okay. Let's add. Do you know what ports we're supposed to be on? Let me see what var log messages is saying. Refuse mount request from 172.233 to 83 on match host. So in your exports file,
Mm-hmm.
is this the IP address we put in your exports file?
I don't think so.
Okay, go ahead and copy that and then put it in your exports file.
Okay, can you keep that up for
Yeah,
me?
I am.
Okay, let me go look. Then let's see. Yeah, no, that's a different IP address.
Okay, and that's fine.
Okay. That is tiny.
172.233.188.183.
Thank you. Okay, and then I don't think I reload this exports file.
But you have to restart NFS service though, server.
Right. Um, won't let me save that. Have to be sudo. Okay, let me try this again. Sudo. Okay. The IP address you said was, I'm sorry, 172.
I forgot. Hold on. 172.233.188.183.
Okay.
Hmm? Um, oh, I see what happened. I we had it right, but remember, I was going to log in, mount it from my Mac, but I'm
Oh, right.
from the Linode, right? So that's why the IP address is. So even if you put localhost or 127.0.0, that should work. But go ahead and put the IP address, and then have you done that?
Yeah, I just reloaded the NFS server.
Okay. So instead of taking that one out, we should have just added another line with the new IP.
Uh,
Yeah, there we go.
nice.
So so that list ls mount NFS. There shouldn't be anything in there. So go into that folder on your drive, on your machine, on your setup there,
Hmm.
and create a file inside the directory you mounted, and let's see if it shows up here.
Okay. This is MNT
Mhm,
NFS.
mhm.
All right, let's
Is,
yeah.
is that what it's called? Is that the directory you mounted?
Yes, MNT NFS.
Okay.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's the directory. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, okay.
Okay, so I made a mistake. So I should be going to Olu mount MNT NFS. Okay, so I should go, this should have been mounted to Olu. Huh?
I think you have to create the FS tab file. Oh, we already did.
Hmm. Did you put something in there already?
Yeah, I just did.
Okay, I think I messed this up. Yeah, so it's
Yep.
still mounted. Okay, so I need to mount it. So sudo, maybe sudo's unmounted. It's saying it's not mounted. Hmm.
Wait, if you can see a file that I just added, then isn't this
Yeah,
correct?
but at CFS tab, what I put in there was for it to mount it to MNT forward slash.
Oh,
So if
right.
you turn this machine off and turn it back on, it would mount it to a different directory.
I
But
see.
okay, that's fine. I'm going to reboot this machine and let's see where. Go ahead and create a bunch of files over there in
Okay.
that directory and let's see what happens.
Oh, it rebooted mine too.
Oh yeah, because you're on the same server. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, so we'll just wait for it to come back.
Okay.
I should probably, that should be fine. Okay, it's talking to it. Let me do a hard reboot because I don't know what's going on. If I look on it here, I could tell what's going on. Reboot. Yeah. You see that? See where it says rebooting up here?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now it's running. So let's go. Did it change the IP address? No, it didn't. Okay. Okay. All right. So now, have you been able to put some more stuff in there?
I need to SSH back in. Give me a second.
Okay.
Um, so,
Ah, okay. These are the files you created.
correct.
NFS test, NFS test 2, NFS test 3. Okay, good. So, so if I go in here and this won't let me do that because I'm not the owner of the file. So I'll do sudo. Still won't let me do anything. So let's look at the permissions. ls ls-l mount. So they all belong to venue. Oh, okay. And only you have read-write access.
Hmm.
So, but as root,
Right. The directory that you created, you would have had to modify the permissions for that as well.
okay.
Or the mount point directory, yeah. The /mount/olu directory.
No, it belongs to you and it should stay that way. But am I part of that group? So ID Olu, am I?
Oh,
So I'm part of the
wait,
group.
yeah, you
Oh,
are.
so I should be able to. Oh, okay. But look, the permissions. I don't have right access. You see, only you have right access. So you'd have to change group to right as well. So go ahead and so the type Shumad.
Okay. Let me see. Okay.
So I would this is the command to type Shemad G group right access. You add W and then you say mount Olu. Okay, so type that command like that and then let me know. You probably need to,
Okay.
did it take?
Yeah, it took.
Okay, so now let me look at this again. Ah, look at that.
Nice.
S. So now if I do this, look at that. It's no longer, it's still complaining. Huh. Hmm. Okay, so let me look at the individual files, the right permissions on the file. So they all have. Oh, did you revoke the command recursively?
Recursively, no.
You go
Okay.
ahead and do that.
Okay.
Bang,
Okay.
good job. It's still saying read only. Hmm.
Do you have the sudo?
I did, didn't I? I did.
Hmm.
So ls minus l. So let's think about this. So the group has read-write access, and the group is NFS share, and I'm part of NFS share. NFS share. Do others have to have access? But I'm part of the group already.
Right.
Hmm. Okay, go ahead and give others right access as well.
Okay.
No, but wait. We're missing something.
Is it because we only set the permission?
Oh, no, Vicky. Did you, when you did the Shimon G plus S, did you do that recursively?
Mhm. But I only did it for the /MNT/NFS directory, not MNT directory.
Yeah, so we should have an S showing on those files, and we don't. So go ahead and Shimad group plus S on the this is a test to give the group the access to write.
Just on this is a test?
Yeah,
Okay. Shmad.
it's another form of security, right? To keep others from changing your files. So you just don't want to give a blanket group access.
Okay. Wait, let me. Okay, Shmad. This is a test. Okay.
Hmm.
You said G plus S, right?
Shimad G plus S.
Yeah.
Mount Olu, then this is a test.
Oh, I didn't add Mount Olu to it.
Are you in that directory right now? If you're in the
I'm
directory,
in Mount NFS directory.
yeah. So you wouldn't have to give the Mount NFS.
Right.
Yeah, Mount NFS is what you do on your end.
Right.
Okay, all right. Well, you did more than you needed to do, but we'll talk about that at some other time.
What was that? I only did Shimon G plus S.
Yeah, it's a capital because you gave it executable as well. It
Ow?
should be a small s, but it's okay. We need to go learn special permissions.
I only gave
Anyway,
it G plus S.
oh, so now I can read stuff. See that? So
Ah, okay.
save it. All right, now check your screen.
Do what now? I'm sorry.
Check this is a test on your screen and you'll see.
Ah, okay. Yep, I see it.
Okay. So now if we look at the contents of, if we look at ls minus l now, you'll see that the essay will become a small s. It's a big S.
Hmm.
What did I do? Oh, remove execute. Okay. Hmm. I think I may have this backwards.
Eh,
Okay. When you have the execute is when it becomes a small s.
okay.
If it's not, then it's big S. Okay, all right, that's fine. Well, good job. So I will assign the next task to you. I think just go learn special permissions, and then we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
In the
Okay.
meantime, I am going to delete this node, get rid of it, and I need to figure out what happened with AWS.
Unreliable. Always something with AWS.
It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. Probably something that I need to look at.
Hmm.
But I got rid of that.